yes, thank you for coming so quickly, Mr. Linton. It's a bit of an urgent problem, I'm afraid.
Well, let's have a look at it then. I don't like any of my tenants, you know, suffering from any discomfort or inconvenience.
Well, basically, it's a problem with the roof. It has a rather large hole.
Good grief! Look at that! How on earth did that happen? Was it some natural occurrence? Rain? Hail? Lightning? Gales?
No.
Some unusual flying object?
No.
No. Well, come on, Mr. Evans. I need more details about this to put on the claim form. I mean, look at it. That hole's big enough for a man to come through.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Mr. Linton.
Ah, a man came through. It was a robber. I don't know. They're so devious, aren't they, these days? You lock your windows, you lock your doors, and then they come through the roof. I don't know what they'll think of next.
No, it wasn't a robber. It's rather difficult to explain because, in a roundabout way, he was actually a guest.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I've heard of friends and neighbours dropping in, but that just about takes the precedent.
Well, I'm sorry if we're not making ourselves very clear, Mr. Linton, but you see, coming through the roof, it just, well, through the door, wasn't an option.
Ah, I see. You had a problem with the lock mechanism of the door, so you and your guest had to go up on the roof and come in that way.
No. No, see, we were all in, as were a number of other guests, so entry via the door was blocked.
Hang on. Entry via the door was blocked. So how many people did you have in this room then?
We think about 100.
Stop believing crumbs! 100?
Or maybe a few more.
Oh, gracious me! Don't you realise you have the health and safety on my back like a ton of bricks? This place was only built to house a family of 4.
Yes, Mr. Linton. Yes.
I suppose you was having one of these fangled rave things.
I can assure you it was nothing like that.
No, I suppose the place was full of booze and drugs.
I promise you, Mr. Linton, nothing could be further from the truth.
Then what on earth was you doing then? What was you up to that ended up with a great big wacky hole in my roof?
Well, Mr. Linton, have you heard about this Jesus going about preaching, healing?
Hang on. Yeah, my wife told me about that. She heard the Sermon on the Mount the other day. Said it was good.
He is good, isn't he? Yeah, well, we invited him round to our house. Yeah, only thing was, the place was just chocker. Well, you know, it just went out of control, I'm afraid, Mr. Linton.
Yeah, carry on.
Well, unbeknown to us, the body's paralysed around, didn't they? Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it was just heaving with people. And, well, you know, couldn't get through the door, so they...
Yeah, I've got it. So they went up on the roof. They removed my lovely tiles. Then they bunged him down.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So what happened next?
Well, you know, I think Jesus was pretty chuffed with his friends, you know. They had faith. And he said, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Well, got those Pharisees, you know, accusing him of all this and that.
Oh, God, I bet they did.
They did. Well, I'll tell you what, he soon sorted him out though, didn't he? Yeah. Well, he said to the paralysed man, he said, "You're healed. Take up your mat." We saw it with our own eyes, didn't we? Yeah. Well, he got up his mat, put it under his arm, went through the gobsmacked crowd, healed. Amazing!
Cool, sounds pretty incredible to me.
It was, wasn't it?
I promise you, Miss Linton, that is the exact truth.
Yeah, I believe you.
Shall be, yeah. I bet. Well, we're a bit sorry about your roof, Mr. Linton. Do you think you'll be alright claiming on the insurance?
Yeah, I'm sorry as well. Yeah, never mind. I'll put it down as